Hi Jim, we're back. I'm not surprised that you didn't like anything yesterday and I woke up again in the same manner. Anyways, my father showed me Kingdom. My father showed me Mulan 2 where Lee, uh, that's bright red color. And this is complete. My father showed me the scene with Lee Sang and Mulan where they had a fight in the second movie. I will explain. Now we're going to the moon. Bowser's not getting away. We'll chase him all the way to the Moon Kingdom. Come on, let's save those two. Okay, we are just for the wedding. We left the stratosphere, the exosphere, now we are in the moon. We are in space. Beloved, beloved space. My homeland, my motherland, the place I belong, my place of origin. Bowser's moon wedding. Well, don't you look dapper? Those two must be over there. No time to dilly-dally. Let's go. Do you feel light on your feet? Yeah, the gravity. You were in the moon. That's over there is the sun, obviously. And that there is Earth. I'm not quite sure which territory this is. It looks like this is Africa, but I'm not seeing the full view to be sure that it is Africa. It could be like this, that could be the west coast of Africa. It doesn't really make sense to be. I don't think it could be Alaska, like that part. I don't see anywhere there, like there is like oops, uh, here should be like a very evident connection of Siberia with Alaska. It's only like you can see the coast of Alaska from Siberia, and it doesn't seem like to me there is Siberia over there, so I think it's Africa. Yes, it looks like it's very upwards, but it doesn't really make sense, I think, to me. Anyways, it could either be Alaska or Africa. Let's agree to that. Anyways, it's a cartoon, so yeah, just some guesses. So, back to the topic. Yeah, so I saw Mulan 2 with my father when I had breakfast, and um, yeah, my breakfast was very much on point as well. I ate like noodles, chicken noodles, my favorite, with feta and some olive oils as well. I added today. I wanted some, like something like fruit or vegetables because I'm not always eating them and I don't think that's good for health. Um, we need vegetables as well. So, yeah, in the scene, it's like in the second movie, you saw it recently, as my father says, um, like Mulan has an argument, a heated argument with Shang, because Mulan is um, like Moshu, the dragon. This is how we pronounce him in Greek, anyways. Uh, he, Shang thought that Mulan um, didn't want him because he was like I guess okay, so side. I guess he was thinking that Mulan didn't love him because he misunderstood what Mushu said. Now I don't know what exactly this could mean for us. Anyways, it's like a cartoon, but like Mulan didn't say anything bad about Shang, and Shang heard her. So that could either be interpreted in two ways. I'm not quite sure which of them is the correct one. The one could be that Andrew told you something bad about me, and the bad thing that he said about me was that I said something bad about you, or maybe something bad about your country. Not making any sense, because you ought, if you heard something bad about me from Andrew, you had, what do you mean? What do you mean, Dad? Hold on, Zé. I'm just trying to make sense from my father. Okay. My father says my father says that Andrew didn't tell you anything bad about me, about you. Dad, Johnny, what did Andrew say about me? He said that I am a bad person. Yes. What else did he say? He doesn't wanna talk about me because I'm a bad person and I gave him bad time. When exactly did this happen? That Helga, what did he say? My father is laughing because he knows that this is ridiculous. That's why he's laughing, Zé. He's laughing. And he's right to do so because this is ridiculous. I never did anything to Andrew. I saw him as a father, and obviously you fell for it. What do you mean this is not the issue, father? He says that this is not your problem at this point. You have a problem with what I posted, I suppose. I'm just waiting for my father to confirm at this point. I'm not quite sure. Um, I will just speak and I will wait for my father to advise me further on. Zé, you are not texting me, you are not responding like to my requests for likes. What did you expect me to say? That you are the best person that has ever passed for my life? Are you the Lulu? Like obviously, who wouldn't? Obviously, like everybody would be mad about you. Like if they asked you for affection and you gave them shit. Shit is not for people to take, Zed. Shit is for the toilet. Okay. You're always forgetting how to behave to a woman, and that's ridiculous. And then you are like, Helga, why did you speak about me like that? I spoke about you like that because you're not giving me any affection, Zed. You are just stalking me, and that's like, as I said, I don't mind, but I'm trying to make sense. Like my father, like I sensed your aura, and my father was like, yeah, go for it, because I told him that I'm sensing something, and he said, go for it, okay. because my father initiated this anyways, and I'm making the posts, and instead of like you appreciating that and being like, oh, okay, after all, Helga loves me, you're like, nah, Helga is actually, she's actually thinking, she's having second thoughts about me. Ze, you're a fucking racist. They have told you shit about Europe and you are buying because you are idiot. Okay? They have told you that we don't have any civilization, that we are hypocrites, that we are speaking too many words and we don't mean it. Fuck off, you and all the people back in Asia that believe such stuff about us. I'm not that type of person. I'm not treating my friends like that. I'm not treating even my enemies like that. As I said, I never did anything wrong to Andrew. Andrew is just a craphead. That's all that matters to me, okay? And so is Bashir. I don't give a fuck what they say about me, okay? But the fact that you definitely like the fact that you actually like believe that I don't care and I'm saying stuff and maybe I'm having second guesses about you all the time. Like, Ze, grow up. Like, you are not treating me any better so I can speak you better. And if you want affection from me, give. Okay, giving is receiving. Makes sense. You reap what you sow. You can't expect to reap something you haven't sown. Okay? Sown. Hope I'm saying the verb correctly. Um, past participle of show anyways, showed, I suppose, showed. Um, anyways, whatever. Um, that's very unfair. It's very unfair for me. I don't care what you do with other people, but it's very unfair about me. Because I don't deserve such a behavior, okay? Like, yeah, the Europeans are hypocrites. The European, okay, and the Chinese are saying shitty stuff about us and they don't correspond to the truth about Europe, okay? We have our problems, we have like bad manners, we have things like shitty things that we should sort out as a continent. But no, we are not all of us hypocrites. Just because some people are hypocrites, yes, your country also has hypocrites. Every country and every continent and every corner of this planet has hypocrites. Okay, everybody can be a bad person and a good person, and it doesn't have to do with the continent. And no, your continent hasn't done everything bad or good, okay? Because at least my countries didn't break the toes of the girls to marry them off to other people. We haven't done that shit. Your country has done this shit, and my country is not responsible for such cruelty, okay? Maybe we have maybe we have given the Antichrist to everybody, and this is our responsibility. Yes, I acknowledge that. I'm not supporting this stuff. I'm actually very much against it, and I have problems with my country. But at least we didn't break the feet of our girls to marry them off to men. Okay, and say whatever the fuck you wanna say about your country. Your country has done shitty stuff, and you have to acknowledge that. And just because people come off to your country and say your country has done this and that, don't clench your fists like that, Zé. Just acknowledge that, okay? Just acknowledge and mimic me. I am also an immigrant in a different country, and I say always that Greece is fucked up, and I stand by it, and I understand that yes, my country has some good stuff that I miss, but also has done some very crappy stuff, and we are responsible for the Antichrist pandemic in this world, okay? And I'm not like hiding behind my hand like you do all the time. And China taught you like the Europeans are actually like hypocrites. They having second thoughts. Like you think maybe Helga, if she says this stuff about me, is what had she said behind my back? Nothing. Nothing. I'm not hiding. Just because I'm a mystic, I never hid myself. That's why Zeus never liked me. Okay. Zeus never liked me because I was always open. I was always teaching in the open, like I'm teaching on my YouTube. I was always speaking on the open about God. I never hid anything because I have nothing to hide. My father is Yahweh, the God that brings everything forth, and he doesn't speak in secret. Okay? And if you believe that I am the type of person, no, wrong, mystic. Better go to your boyfriend Fitzgerald, because this is the guy that he's hiding stuff and he doesn't say everything. Okay? Fuck you. I'm done with your crap, honestly. Like, I'm done with your crap. Like, you are treating me like nothing. and I am responding to that, and I have an opinion, because all you ever thought when you were seeing me was that I am beautiful, and you didn't even pay my fucking attention to what I'm saying to you. And instead of like seeing, maybe this girl has some problems with me, maybe she wants something, maybe I'm not giving this shit to her. No, no, Zé, no. You thought that, oh, no, Helga doesn't love me. She doesn't love me. She prefers Yahweh, she prefers Apostle Paul, she prefers somebody that is not me. Fuck you. I'm gonna close the curtain, whatever. I can't even see in the footage because I'm seeing myself all the time in the screen. I came back because I closed the curtain. I would just grab these purple coins up there and I will leave. I will go to the wedding. Like, I am so enraged with you, Zé. Like, everything I am doing, you're always interpreting every action I'm doing in the wrong manner. Like, do you even seriously like anything I am doing? Like, seriously, like, you're giving me headache. Like, do you even respect that I am younger? And perhaps I deserve some moments of happiness and joy and love and a soft touch and everything, and you're always making me angry and bitter, and I have all these bad emotions that always Zeus was creating to me, and you're always creating these emotions to me, and you're always nurturing your fucking stupid ego, and you should shut the fuck up and listen to what you are making other people express, like what you make other people feel because of you, instead of nurturing your stupid 40-year-old ego. Fuck off. Like, I'm done with your shit, Zé. Grow up. Like, just take a decision with me. What do you wanna do with me? Because I'm fed up. My father says all the time he wants to come back. I'm not sure, Dad. I'm not really sure that he wants to come back because he's always making me upset and sad and angry and bitter, and he never makes me happy. And I thought that a relationship is supposed to make you happy, it's not supposed to make you bitter and having like bad emotions all the time, like Zeus. Okay. Instead of treating me like a woman, like buying me a teddy bear, liking my posts, like sending a fucking text where we were together and you didn't even send a text saying like, hi Helga, are you okay? No, you didn't do anything like that, Zen. No, you didn't. You didn't. I was always watching other people having likes, having like posts liked by their boyfriends. I watched other people having teddy bears, candies. I never had anything from you, okay? And you are wondering why I'm talking always about my father doesn't treat me like shit, Zé. You treat me like shit. You never treated me like a woman, okay? And you're always wondering why I never showed you my true colors, because you weren't being a nice boyfriend, okay? Fuck off. Honestly, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself from the anus. We're always discussing my behavior as if I have done anything to you when you didn't even tell me that you like me. Okay, you just showed some signs that were so mixed that not even like a proper experienced mystic cannot even understand. Like if I showed any mystic, like Fitzgerald, you want like woman that I'm watching on YouTube, Sarah, the divination whiz, you want anybody. Or if I showed them the signs, even Agamben, who is like a perfect mystic, they wouldn't even understand if you like me or not, Zé. If they, all of them would actually say that you didn't like me. If they saw if they saw the texts, if I talk to them about your behavior, your signs, they would say that probably I should be away from you. This is what they would say, Zé. This is what they will all advise me to do. And you honestly think that there's something wrong with my behavior? Go fuck yourself, Zé. Go fuck yourself. You are actually, you disgust me. Okay, you haven't grown a tiny bit from the moment I left you. You left me. You left me when I was 22. I'm 25. I grew as a person. I became a better version of myself. You became worse. You stayed the same, and you have become progressively worse. And I'm not even like, I'm not even like contemplating why. Because people, when they are in your age, they become worse. Okay. Travel cheap dive. Every jump realize you need just a little more distance. Try this. While in air, press ZL and then Y to do a dive and fly a little farther. Like not, no woman would ever tolerate you, Jen. No woman would ever tolerate you. All the women that you would date in this continent, and trust me, even the Chinese girls are like that. I have met Chinese girls, and they are very angry about how you guys are behaving to them, because you behave to your women, Zebag, and you are like they are shit. And I know that personally because I have spoken with Chinese girls. I told one girl from China. She was from rural China. I told her I loved a guy and he dumped me, and he was from Beijing, and she laughed her ass off. Do you know what she said? She said, yes, I know, this is how they treat us. I had a boyfriend, he did exactly the same, and I'm trying to find a European guy because Chinese men suck. This is what she said. And she was from your fucking country, Zé. She was from your fucking country. She was enraged by you guys, and she was laughing when I said that you dumped me. And if you were wondering what did you say about me behind your back, that you dumped me and I didn't do anything, and she laughed and she said, yes, Helga, yes, they dump us and they don't give any explanation why. This is how they behave. And if you wanna find a guy, she said, find a European, because I'm also trying to marry a European guy. And she said, my parents are not gonna accept this. They want me to have a Chinese guy. I can't have a Chinese guy because they are misbehaving to us. Look how you guys make your women feel about you. Do you think I will support you in this? Of course not. I'm gonna support my gender, women. And you are making all the women in China miserable with you guys. Okay? Maybe some of them are not very good with you, like they want property and stuff. But this is not a way to treat a girl. You buy teddy bears, you buy necklaces, you buy rings. Okay? You are not treating them like, oh, this is ontological. Fuck off. Fuck off, you are not a theologian. Shut the fuck up. You are speaking too much. Learn silence. Silence. I'm done with this crap. I am done with this crap. If you're not gonna grow up, I just want my father to finish all this. I can't believe I proposed to marry the guy that destroyed me, and still he has problems with my behavior. Zé, fuck off. Fuck yourself. You deserve a Chinese girl that would say exactly the same about you, like that you don't deserve affection because you are a craphead. Okay? You didn't give me anything, and you think that I am not behaving okay. And what if I said behind your back? Give me a better report, as we say in French. Give me a better report, and I will say something better about you behind your back, because yes, all my friends knew that a guy dumped me. I didn't go into details because I wanted to protect you, so they don't know all the details. They don't know the nasty text you sent me the last time, or that you didn't respond to my graduation ceremony ticket. They don't know that. Fuck you. I should have told them, but they know that you dumped me, and all of them laughed and said, why are you waiting for this craphead? And I said, I don't know, because I love him. He didn't love me though. Okay, I was doing okay with my father. I was actually escaping Zeus. I was doing fine, and then you crushed everything I had done, like my dissertation, my erotic life, everything, just because you are a craphead. And instead of saying to your parents, shut the fuck up about you, you are doing that to me. Fuck you. I have to go. I can't really play. I will come later. I'm done with this crap. I can't. I'm very angry. I'm back because my father said I should come back and continue playing, and he said change subject, Helga. Okay. I thought I would take a power moon from this anyways. Wait, well, watch out, the hole back there is real deep. Wow. We're going down. Yep. Underground moon caverns, where the gravity feels normal in here. There is a possibility that the gravity is better inside the like inside, like deep in the core of the moon, or any moon of any planet, because the cores are thought to be very solid. Under the Bowser statue. Oh, okay. So we will take one dry bones. That's dry para bones. Just, I'm just trying to say, Zay, if you have problems with my behavior, then first acknowledge that your behavior is not very better than mine. Okay, that's my problem. You're always looking at how my behavior is because you have inferiority complexes, and instead of acknowledging that maybe you are not very much behaving well. Okay, you are just evaluating other people like learn your position in the universe, learn who you are, and not stop attacking other people and say they don't behave very well, because you're doing it all the time with all of us. He doesn't love me, okay, as if you know how love is in the distances, as if you knew, as if you could actually notice any difference. You don't know what love is, you haven't felt the emotion, you have only felt it through me, and you're questioning what the fuck it is, okay? And your parents didn't love you, okay? Period. You're not even allowed to have an opinion about this matter. Like you don't have any criteria to understand what love is and what love is not. That game is so difficult. I can't believe that. What am I supposed to do here? I guess it's the portion of the game that I'm not speaking, I'm just playing. Okay, that's better. There is a key here, I can hold that. Not quite sure how I will use it anyway, but let's go. Oh god. That was so unnecessary. So we're seeing all the heroes that we have encountered so far in our journey. Oh god, I didn't want to do that. Around the barrel. Okay. Just drink the Coca-Cola. Okay. Now I have to take these guys, yeah? Fuck, I have to deal with her again. Fuck my life. Do you remember me? Yes, I do. You were ever so rude to me back in the Cascade Kingdom. In fact, you were quite rude to all my darling brothers, which is why we're all here now. Now, I do believe it's lunchtime for my newly powered up Chain Chompkins. Okay, that's no good. Splendid. Just like that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah. Oh my god, we went here. Oh fuck. Fuck. Only one life. I'm leaving the coins because okay. There's no moon. Okay, we took lives. Hurry. Quick, quick. I will go there, but first I will go here. My father says this is the clock, not of a wedding, but for the midnight. Helga, what does he mean? He means that it's time for the 10th plague. That's what he says. Spiritual language. I'll go out again, and after that I will start speaking. Okay. Okay. The tip of a white spire. We have 6 power moons in here. Ecclesiastical music. All the characters we know are here. Dad says this is the wedding of you and me. I am Peach because I am pink, and Bowser is you because you love me, but you're not really behaving as you should, my father says. This is what Bowser represents because he's in love with Peach, but he doesn't treat her like he expects her to treat her. Can I have some stew? I was forced to attend this ceremony. I was to go home now. You came here to save her. That's sweet. Just in time. Awful, awful, awful. I was dragged away from my cooking for this. What is going on in this place? I like Cappy as a character. I wish he was in more games. Haha, guys, crashing the wedding, Mario, that's tacky even for you. Also, your outfit isn't halfway fancy enough for the occasion, nor that it matters since you weren't invited. So now it's time for you to make like a bouquet and get thrown out. Get ready, Mario. Okay, we're fighting the Bowser. Think of the Koopas. Here's your happily ever after. That will teach you. Oh my god. We need a heart. Oh god. That's more difficult than I expected. Okay, we leave this, we leave this, we leave this. We crush this. Bowser is also pretty like you, but he has the same nuts as usual. Oh god. If I had 6 hearts that would be even better, but I don't. Okay, that will teach you. That was the first one. Now we have other two. Okay, nice. The second one. Let's take a heart. The heart. Okay. Okay, we passed this challenge. Fuck. Oh god, I shouldn't do that. So difficult, oh my god. He doesn't stop. Should I go close to him from when he's throwing stuff? Yes. Oh god, no, 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 don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, no, no, no. This fucking game. Okay, first one, that will teach me. Now we'll go to the second. Sit here. No. Where is the hat? Okay. Okay, we got it through twice. Nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god, and I did it. Fuck my life. I'm selling you one life card for 50. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. I wanted this. Hope it helps. Yes, it helps. Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted. first one. Let's take the heart. Five hearts. Okay. Fuck. Nice. No. Okay. Only 3 lives left. I'm not gonna get angry, this is why we wanted them anyways. Oh my god. Okay. We freed Peach. I will finish the game because it's actually ending and then I will read Twilight. There is a scene that I wanted to discuss. Bowser. Oh, are those two alright? What are we gonna do? Okay, are we gonna take Bowser? We need to hurry get out of here. Oh my god, very demanding. Oh god, from the beginning, are you kidding me? I don't understand where I have to go. And Jay, if you think that you were teaching me and you weren't really hurting me and I am hurting you, Jay, you could teach me in a way better manner than what you did. I don't understand. Oh, okay. Ah, I never, like, always, whenever you were teaching me, I felt like intimidated. Like, even when you were telling me, don't try, just do that, that wasn't flirting, that wasn't like a mentor trying to teach me. That was like a bully trying to tell me what to do, even though maybe I didn't want to. Like, this is how I like to work there. I like to work with a notebook and write down, and it helps my train of thought. And you were even there. You were not giving me enough time to breathe, and you were telling me what to do. Like, I wasn't your daughter, and I wasn't a high school student. I wasn't an underage. I was an adult, and I was allowed to do whatever the fuck I wanted to do, and you shouldn't even interfere with how I'm doing that, okay? Because, okay, I wasn't your daughter. You can't behave to your girlfriend as if she is your daughter, okay? And expect that she will be okay with your behavior when your behavior is nasty. What the fuck? I see the outside, we're almost there. The music is like early 2000s. It's falling apart, quick, go to the middle. Okay, we're going back to Earth. Moon. Yeah. She will not want anybody. Yeah, I would have done the same with this behavior. Helga, did you say you want flowers? Yes, I want flowers, but not you competing with somebody else. Yeah, obviously, now they're sitting together, beating each other. I just want tenderness, not this. I feel for Mario and Bowser, but I prefer Peach here. She definitely has her boundaries. We finish the game, now we can collect collectibles behind. I will start doing that. Doesn't have anything else, just credits. So we are back in the Moon Kingdom, I think. And I will take collectibles for them from the Moon Kingdom, no Moon Kingdom, the Cascade Kingdom, the Cappy Kingdom, how it was called, Hat Kingdom. You can now travel to the Mushroom Kingdom, okay. Additional Palmos are in stock at the shop. Music list has been added to the map screen, okay. So I will go there, Mushroom Kingdom, Peach Castle. Okay, maybe I will wander around the Mushroom Kingdom then. And I will read a little bit from Bella and analyze a little bit before I go. And then I will close again. So calm, so peaceful, like our trip to the Moon Kingdom was all a dream. But good thing it wasn't, because we saved our two dear friends. That nightmare is over, hooray for us. But I've liked our travel so much, I don't want our journey to end. I mean, there's still so much to do, so many hearts you need to meet. And I bet we collect more power moons, we'll be able to travel somewhere new. So our trip is far from over, one more hooray I say. But for starters, let's head up to Peach's castle. So yeah, I like that he doesn't want to bail him. So um, I will collect my stuff and I will see you in a moment. So So we have Mario here, he's with the birds in the Mushroom Kingdom. He's relaxing. And we will leave him here under the shade as we will dive into the book. So I found the piece of the book, so it is a 13 chapter confessions. Edward in the sunlight was shocking. I couldn't get used to it, though I had been staring at him all afternoon. His skin, white despite the flame flash from yesterday's hunting trip, literally sparkled like thousands of tiny diamonds were embedded in the surface. He lay perfectly still in the grass, his shirt open over his sculpted incandescent chest, his scintillating arms bare. His glistening pale lavender lids were shut, though of course he didn't sleep. A perfect statue carved in some unknown stone, smooth like marble, glittering like crystal. Edward seemed to take a deep breath, and then he stepped out into the bright glow of the midday sun. Was the last sentence of the previous chapter. Now and then his lips would move, so fast it looked like they were trembling, but when I asked he told me he was singing to himself. It was too low for me to hear. I enjoyed the sun too, though the air wasn't quite dry enough for my taste. I would have liked to lie back as he did to let the sun warm my face, but I stayed curled up, my chin resting on my bones, unwilling to take my eyes off him. The wind was gentle. It tangled my hair and ruffled the grass that swayed around his motionless form. The meadow, so spectacular to me at first, paled next to his magnificence, hesitantly always afraid, even now, that he would disappear in a mirage. Hope I pronounce this correctly, though. Too beautiful to be real. Hesitantly, I reached out one finger and stroked the back of his shimmering hand, where it lay within my reach. I marveled again at the perfect texture, satin smooth, cool as stone. When I looked up again, his eyes were open, watching me. Butterscotch today, lighter, warmer after hunting. His quick smile turned up the corners of his flawless lips. I don't scare you, he asked playfully, but I could hear the real curiosity in his soft voice. No more than usual. He smiled wider, his teeth flashed into the sun. I inched closer, stretched out my whole hand now to trace the contours of his forearm with my four fingertips. I saw that my fingers trembled, and I knew I couldn't escape his notice. Do you mind? I asked, for he had closed his eyes again. No, he said without opening his eyes. You can't imagine how that feels. He sighed. Um, I lightly trailed my hand over the perfect muscles of his arm, followed the faint pattern of blood veins inside the crease of his elbow. With my other hand I reached to turn his hand over. Realizing what I wished, he flipped his palm up in one of those blindingly fast, disconcerting movements of his. It startled me. My fingers froze on his arm for a brief second. Sorry, he murmured. He looked up in time to see his golden eyes close again. It's too easy to be myself with you. I lifted his hand in the way that I watched the sun glitter on his palm. I held it closer to my face, trying to see the hidden facets of his skin. Tell me what you're thinking, he whispered. I looked up to see his eyes watching me, suddenly intent. It was so strange to me not knowing. You know, the rest of us feel the way all the time. It's a hard life. Do I imagine the hint of a judge in his tone? But you didn't tell me. I was wishing I could know what you were thinking, I hesitated. And I was wishing that I could believe that you are real, and I was wishing that I wasn't afraid. I don't want you to be afraid. His voice was just a soft murmur. I heard what he couldn't truthfully say, that I didn't need to be afraid, that there was nothing to fear. Well, that's not exactly the fear I meant, though that's certainly something to think about. Well, that's not exactly the fear I meant, though that's certainly something to think about. So quickly that I missed his movement, he was half sitting, propped up on his right arm, his left palm still in my hands. His angel's face was only a few inches from mine. Should have flinched away from his unexpected closeness, but I was unable to move. His golden eyes mesmerized me. I don't want you to be afraid. His voice was just a soft murmur. I had what he couldn't truthfully say, that I didn't need to be afraid, that there was nothing to fear. Was the last one. I just took my water, so I'm not really sure where I stopped. What are you afraid? Uh, what are you afraid of then? He whispered intently, but I couldn't answer, as I had just done that once before. I smelled his cool breath in my face, sweet, delicious. The scent made my mouth water. It was unlike anything else. Instinctively, unthinkingly, I leaned closer, inhaling, and he was gone. His hand ripped from mine. In the time it took my eyes to focus, he was 20 feet away, standing at the edge of the small meadow in the deep shade of a huge fir tree. He stared at me, his eyes dark in the shadows, his expression unreadable. I could feel the hurt and shock in my face. My empty hands stung. I'm sorry, Edward, I whispered. I knew he could hear. Give me a moment, he called, just loud enough for my less sensitive ears. I sat very still. After 10 incredibly long seconds, he walked back, slowly for him. He stopped, still several feet away, and sank gracefully to the ground, crossing his legs. His eyes never left mine. He took deep breaths, and then smiled in apology. I am so very sorry, he hesitated. Would you understand what I meant if I said I was only human? I nodded once, not quite able to smile at his joke. Adrenaline pulsed through my veins, and as the realization of danger slowly sank in, he could smell that from where he sat. His smile turned mocking. I'm the world's best predator, aren't I? Everything about me invites you in. My voice, my face, even my smell. As if I need any of that. Unexpectedly, he was on his feet, bounding away, instantly out of sight, only to appear beneath the same tree as before, having circled the meadow in half a second. As if you could outrun me, he laughed bitterly. He reached up with one hand and with a deafening crack effortlessly ripped a 2-foot thick branch from the trunk of the spruce. He balanced it in the hand for a moment, and then threw it with blinding speed, shattering it against another huge tree, which shook and trembled at the blow. He was in front of me again, standing 2 feet away, still as a stone. As if you could fight me off, he said gently. I sat without moving, more frightened of him than I had ever been. I had never seen him so completely freed of that carefully cultivated facade. He had never been so less human, or more beautiful. Face ashen, eyes wide, I sat like a bird locked in the eyes of a snake. His lovely eyes seemed to glow with rash excitement, then as the seconds passed they dimmed. His expression slowly folded into a mask of ancient sadness. Don't be afraid, he murmured, his velvet voice unintentionally seductive. I promise, he hesitated. I swear not to hurt you. He seemed more concerned with convincing himself than me. Don't be afraid, he whispered again as he stepped closer, his exaggerated slowness. He sat sinuously, with deliberately unhurried movements, till our faces were on the same level, just a foot apart. Please forgive me, he said formally. I can't control myself. You caught me off guard, but I'm on my best behavior now. He waited, but I still couldn't speak. I'm not thirsty today, honestly, he winked. At that I had to laugh, though the sound was shaky and breathless. Are you all right? He asked tenderly, reaching out slowly, carefully to place his marble hand in mine, back in mine. I looked at his smooth, cold hand and then at his eyes. They were soft, repentant. I looked back at his hand and then deliberately returned to tracing the lines in his hand with my fingertip. I looked up and smiled timidly. His answering smile was dazzling. So where were we before I behaved so rudely? He asked in the gentle cussedness of an early century. I honestly can't remember. He smiled, but his face was ashamed. I think we were talking about why you were afraid besides the obvious reason. All right. Well, I looked down at his hand and doodled aimlessly across his smooth, iridescent palm. The seconds ticked by. How easily frustrated I am, he sighed. I looked into his eyes, abruptly grasping that this was every bit of a new to him as it was to me. As many years of unfathomable experience as he had, this was hard for him too. I took courage from that thought. I was afraid because for well obvious reasons I can't stay with you, and I'm afraid that I'd like to stay with you much more than I should. I looked down at his hands as I spoke. It was difficult for me to say this aloud. But then he says, I should have left long ago, I should have lived now, but I don't know if I can. I don't want you to leave, I'm pathetically staring down again. Okay, so I might continue tomorrow because there are too many things to analyze here. So let's go back to the game. Um, so as I can see now, like I'm putting all the things down for my father again for my father, because yeah, Zay can't do it by himself. I bring my dog here so he can run around. I wonder where Luigi found those great balloons. What a wonderful vehicle. The toad person runs the store. The toad, Bridget, runs the store. Toadette is hard at work in the castle. Okay. Okay, so Zay, you think that I might go and buy some stuff? So you say that you would like to be with me, but you're afraid at the same time. Hi, yeah, we got some new products in. Alright, many products. Okay. I don't remember having any of these products before. And with that I mean I don't even remember them from my other game. I'm not making any sense. Like I don't remember anything of these products. You have more products, but they weren't these that I find here. I will stay with this original Mario uniform. Yeah, I remember this. Maybe it's because I am in Peach's castle and that's the reason. Okay, anyways, let's stay here like that. So, Zay, you say, like if I put everything down, you got scared by my post yesterday because you saw me as less human, but you also think that I am beautiful. Yeah, my father says that when I'm speaking, you don't really think. Another day of peace in our kingdom, just how we like it. Yeah, my father has told me that you don't really pay attention to what I'm saying. You usually just stare how beautiful I am, which, okay, it flatters me, but also it frustrates me because you don't really pay attention to what I'm saying, and you're paying attention to what you what you think I say, and you don't really pay attention to me exactly, and that's really frustrating for a girl. I'm just saying here. Okay, okay, let's swim together. Yeah, I would like that. Um, yeah, yeah, okay. The thing with you is that you don't really respect my boundaries, and that's my issue. Like, Helga, what do you mean your boundaries that I'm watching you? No, 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 I don't say that. I mean that every person has hard limits, and we have to respect the hard limits that they have. Makes sense. Like my hard limits is that when I'm putting effort into something, I want you to respect that, and if I say please make a like, I want you to respect that, and you don't respect my boundaries that this is me and this is what I represent, and I want you to respect who I am and not want to change me and not expect things from me when you are not even talking to me. Okay, as you can see, like if I am making an effort again to make to make amends with you, or the tale of a good way is nothing better. It's not because you have spoken to me, it's because my father has spoken to me about you, okay? And that's not very nice then when you haven't showed me that what you like, when you haven't showed me what you believe, what you think, and my father is doing that on your behalf. It's not nice to say Helga doesn't care, Helga is European, Helga this, Helga that. Helga is Helga, Helga is a human, okay? If you wanna say something, just say it. It's very easy. It's just that my 6 sheep have run off, please bring them back to me, okay. And this is what you are doing, and I don't know if you are doing this on purpose or because you are very hurt and you are just trying to find excuses why I don't like you, and you're making crazy scenarios because you are making crazy scenarios about me all the time. But if you are doing that because you are hurt, Zhe, learn how to distinguish a person that cares about you from a person that is hurting you intentionally. Um, like a person, like this, decipher a person who is hurt and is hurting you because you have hurt them, and that's me, from a person like your parents who have hurt you because they are nasty people, and learn how to respond to each of them accordingly, because instead of whining about me and say that I don't care about you, which is false, it's very fake, I have showed you that I care with all my posts, okay? Just imagine another girl who would do that, okay? And if you find another girl, okay, just come here and tell me that you found somebody that would do that, like how am I doing it, okay? Uh, Apart from that, uh, instead of treating like shit your parents because your parents deserve that, I'm not saying you should treat anybody as shit. I'm saying that watch out those goods, they are very dangerous. I'm saying that because this is how you behave, and I'm saying okay, if you have to behave like something to somebody, okay, I'm not getting that, but I understand. Why isn't this person your parents and they are me, for example? Like why? Just because you are in love and you can't decipher that I am not a god, I am a human, and you never voice that you want some stuff about me from me. That's my punishment. I'm guarding this power moon from Goombas. I'm not scared. Nope, not me. So that's what I'm saying. It's not very nice because you're not showing that you care. And if I told anybody like this is what happened, he wants this stuff, everybody would have said to me he should have spoken. And if you're like Helga, why didn't you? Yeah, because I said I wasn't trusting you. You didn't give me the sign that you trust. I could trust you. You gave me the impression that you are untrustworthy and that you are willing to murder people just to become more non-academic. Like you gave this vibe all the time to me because you gloated all the time and you gave me an inferiority complex. You have no idea how many times I have, like I have made a post on my YouTube saying I am a theologian, and when I'm saying that I'm a theologian, um, I'm thinking twice because you destroyed my degree with Andrew, okay, and I am like, yeah, I'm saying ontological stuff, and I'm not scholarly enough. That's your doings, okay. I and I don't care if you say no, that's not me. I don't care. I don't care about who you think you are. I care who you were with me. And many times I'm posting stuff and I feel bad because of you, and I had no such idea about me before I met you. But because I love you and your opinion matters to me, something very stupid because I shouldn't care about what others think of me, but I don't care what others think of me in general, not what you think about me in particular. Okay, so what my problem is that many times I have posted stuff, like even my Christians are creepy videos, and I'm thinking I shouldn't even claim to be a theologian because I have a bachelor's and you have a PhD and you are better, and you have given me all this nasty inferiority complex because your parents gave it to you, and instead of being encouraging and breaking the chains that your parents gave to you, you gave your chains to me, and you expect me to think better of you. Like, in what sense? I'm returning your stupid question back to you. In what sense should I feel better about you or about myself when you gave me vast inferiority complex with all your stupidity? As if like Fitzgerald is a god when Fitzgerald is speaking with Zeus. Okay, I'm thinking all the time he didn't know better. He didn't know. Yeah, okay, he didn't know. If he didn't know, he should shut the fuck up. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate that you think I am pretty, but I'm more than a pretty face. I'm also a person, and you never made me feel like a person. Like, you made me feel like trash, and my father says that you show a pretty face, so that's not very different for me. Like, a pretty face versus a pile of trash. Same. And if you are like Helga, you say all the time that I am pretty. Yes, I'm saying all the time that you are pretty, but I have also encouraged you. I gave you texts to send to the crap heads to protect you. Okay, I have shown multiple layers of my personality about you, like that you are pretty, that I value you, that I love you, that I think that you are hardworking. You weren't like that with me. And if you think, yes, I did that, obviously, as you can see, there is a person here, a human being that says, no, you didn't, and I didn't see it that way. And if I say that I don't see it that way, you have to hear what I say and not say, no, I did it, no, you didn't do anything, because obviously I didn't wake up one morning and say, Zed treated me like shit. Something happened in the meantime. That's not me being crazy, okay? Thank you. And I saw Bella says that I don't want you to abandon me. Zeh, I didn't abandon you. I'm not planning to abandon you. You have divorced me even before you married me. That's because you are, I don't know, like as I can say, I'm not even allowed to say that you are stupid anymore anyways. But like Zeh, I didn't left you. You left me. So stop saying that the thing that you did to me and to us, I would do it to you, and I'm not gonna bail you. I should be more afraid that you would marry me and you will say that you will go for cigarettes and you will never come back, like many guys do with women, instead of the opposite. Because it's ridiculous to hear that you're afraid, like Bella, you're afraid that I will abandon you when you abandoned me like I was a pile of trash, and you lied to me that you will contact me and you didn't contact me. And if you think that's a nice thing for and to do, no, it's not nasty. It speaks volumes about your upbringing, and I apologize to my father if this is a sensitive topic, but it shows that your parents didn't teach you anything. It shows like if your parents didn't care at all about your upbringing. I can see that. Our Princess Peach is gone again. We have looked all over. Like your mother is talking about me as if she knows me. She knows nothing about me, and you are copying her nasty behavior. You are saying stuff about me. Maybe you are not toxic as she is, and you are doing that out of jealousy because you are in love with me. Okay, but at the same time you are copying her nasty behavior and you say stuff about me when you don't know me. You are just making hypotheses what she knows, what does Leah knows about me, that I'm watching cartoon movies, that somehow I'm involved with you. She doesn't really know the full context, and that I am a Greek. And she has made an entire fight inside her head with me because of some random things she knows about me, and she thinks she knows me. No, she doesn't. She knows two stuff that are not even interconnected with each other, and you are copying her nasty behaviors. Okay, and because I saw that you were angry with her speaking like that about me, show it more practically by not mimicking her, not saying stuff about a person you don't really know, that you don't know very well, that you are making out of your head. Okay, because it speaks volumes about nastiness. And about your parents, no, I don't think your parents taught you manners at all, okay? I don't think your mother or your father had the time because they are nasty people anyways. I don't care what you say because you were always roasting my father, Yahweh, and I never said anything. And I think now it's my time to say my perspective because I was always hearing you say I think Yahweh is misogynist. I think Apostle Paul is misogynist, and he's my father. Okay, let's speak about our parents here. No problem. He's also your parent, anyways. So it's not really my problem here. But anyways, yeah. Like seeing you speaking like that about my father really hurt me, and that's why I'm doing that now, the same things. That was not very nice thing to do. Okay, and that's why I'm doing it to you now, to show you like your parents haven't taught you anything. They didn't teach you manners. And if they had to teach you something, your mother ought, as a woman, to teach you how to respect another woman, and but she can't. She's useless to do that. You know what? Because you know why? Because your mother, instead of telling you, did you find a good girl? What is she to you? Is she marriage material? Like, is she like a good cook? Like, I'm not saying these are the best questions to make about a girl. I'm just saying that they would be more, uh, like, they would be better than what your mother is doing, okay? But no, Leah, instead of asking such questions, she became jealous of me, and she was like, hey, you don't know with whom you are messing with, Helga, okay? And you are copying her nasty behavior because she didn't no, teach you how to respect women, okay? And that's why you don't respect me, and you think I respect. No, you don't. Your mother never cared to teach you. Not even your father cared to say. Like, son. You might have a daughter one day. You wouldn't want your daughter to be behaved by a guy like this and that. So don't do this and that to your wife. But your father is also a nasty person, Zé. So he didn't teach you this thing either. So you don't know how to do it either. He didn't teach you to respect other women. Okay, and if you say no, my parents, no, your parents are not good people, and you know that. Okay, come on. And you say I don't want you to leave me. No, I'm not gonna leave you, Zay. I never left you. You left me. You left me. I'm not responsible, and I will take accountability for what you have done to us. Take responsibility for once because you are a full grown adult. Okay? Enough is enough with your bullshit. You can see the whole of the Mushroom Kingdom, yeah. Anyways, the video is gonna get insanely big. I will go here and I will stop recording. I think I have said enough, so yeah, Bella says I don't want you to leave. I know I'm not gonna leave you, Zé. I'm waiting for you still. I'm moving. I have no idea where the fuck am I gonna move because my mother saw the house. I didn't see it, okay? I didn't see it because I'm still hoping perhaps you will contact me for anything and just apologize and maybe come back to me because you ought to do that. But no, you're not. You're not. But like I'm still waiting for you anyways. But I have no idea what I'm gonna do with my life because all I knew was how to wait for you all these months, all these years maybe, and you still blame me for stupid stuff. Okay, I am an adult, I am responsible, I have my responsibilities, my sins, everything like all the other adults, but this, you are giving me sins that I haven't sinned, and that's crazy. Only my father is allowed to say what sins I have done, what I haven't done, and you are always doing that. And trust me, if my father knew that I am involved with you and I dumped you, my father wouldn't be very pleased. He would get very ugly because he hates people who dump other people for no reason like you did. And instead of telling me to take another husband because this is his law, just because the law is obsolete doesn't mean my father changed nature. No, he wants me to be back with you because he knows you love me and he knows I love you, and love is his greatest law. Okay? And instead of respecting both me and my father, you continue putting a blame on a woman that was 20 years old when you met her. You were 40 and you didn't have the testicles in your pants to behave like a guy. You only behave like a guy, like the only thing in your passport that shows that you're a guy is the word nan, that means, hope I pronounce it correctly, man in Chinese. You have nothing else. Oh, and your testicles, your balls, and your dick. That's the only stuff that shows that you are a guy. Apart from that, I can't say anything manly about you because you are not behaving like a man. I behave like a man. And I don't have balls, I don't have testicles, I don't have a penis, and I don't have none in my passport. If I had a passport, it would say new. And you, woman. Okay? Enough is enough with your bullshit. Just sort your shit out. Okay? I will see you tomorrow.